who is going to be speaking with us for today's AMA. Dula, welcome. How are you doing today?
I'm good, thank you very much. Let me do first my signatory hi. So they've been making fun of it, but it's become a thing. So I'm gonna
Sure.
do it. I'm gonna do it first time hi. Um,
Uh,
hey, hey, hey. I'm,
hey, hey,
I'm, ve-
hey.
hey,
Hey,
hey.
hey,
I'm very good. Thank you
hey.
very much. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. It's our pleasure. That definitely has a hey, 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 brings out some old memories for sure. Dula, so let's get started here. Can you share with us a few details about Empire? Tell us what it's about and how it started.
Definitely. Um, so I just always thought we'd be live for 7 months. I just been told that our 6 months birthday is in 11th of December. So we've been live almost 6 months. We are a DeFi token based on Binance Smart Chain. We we wanted to do something different in the space. Uh, we everyone is like either a hype token or there's some sort of use case in one direction and that's it. And most projects um, there's not really long term vision as such. So we wanted you know, to come say, look, we're gonna be doing one, two, three, four different use cases. We can bring them together. We're gonna be changing the DeFi world. Um, at the beginning they laughed at us. They said it's just too many use cases. You're not gonna be able to deliver. Within 6 months, we delivered on two of the use cases, but delivered we're out with beta versions. But for how old we've been on, how long we've been working, it's good enough. We showed our capabilities of working, our intentions of actually doing what we're doing and making it happen. So we are an all around DeFi token that's trying to innovate and make this space a better place by bringing different use cases together, putting it in one place, and adding to it as we go. As of now, we're not innovating just yet as such. We're just put our NFT marketplace out about 2 3 months ago, and we just released to our community only, not live, like the Goosebumps. That's our DEX and portfolio tracking and charts. So we're still in the phase one of our, I don't know, 20, 30, 50 phases we're trying to achieve.
Gotcha. And I'm sure we're going to touch upon the project's specific details and what it's all about later on. But it's definitely noticeable that that Empire has seen quite a lot of growth since it launched back in June. So maybe can you share with us how you've made it all possible?
Uh, I look first before we answer this question. I would like to thank our holders for being with us this long. We've stayed over 5 months, 4.5 months of. We became almost a stable coin. It's like a
Hmm.
USDT. It's like the same price. So we did manage to get to where we are today, which is, you know, it's great, but it's not what we want to be. But for the growth we had the last month, it's amazing. Because of our holders, they stayed with us. Majority of our holders did hold, and that's fundamental for any projects to make it. So that was the first thing. The second thing, we actually delivered on our promises, and we always stay true to our words. I believe um, any projects you need in any in real life and in DeFi space in any aspect of business, talking is easy, delivering is hard. So investors to see a project that's delivering on their promises and they're actually working very hard for it is definitely one of the major points that pushed us to be where we are today. But in our case, I believe it was a bit different because you know, uh, we do have a lot of promises, a lot of use cases to deliver, and we're trying to change the space. We're trying to come and be the next big thing, and all of these promises. So it's not even your regular promises; they're heavy promises, heavy words. So, it comes with a lot of question marks. Can these guys do it? Because it becomes a thin line between bullshit and it's just too
And
much to
actually
do,
getting it done. Yeah.
you know. So getting the first thing done is as a clear sign of, oh shit, these guys might, sorry for the word, but these
Mhm.
guys actually might be, you know, uh, actual serious about what they're saying they're gonna do. They're actually delivering. So I believe that was one of the um, main reasons for the push. People coming over, seeing big number of holders, a big community that's supporting the project. That I believe that was
Right.
yeah.
Because especially in this space, where often projects don't really know personally who the token holders are, so it's important to stay committed to that roadmap and be constantly delivering on time. But on that note, I mean, being a CEO isn't a walk in the park. How what do you do? How do you stay committed to the job in order to get things done?
Um, in a nutshell, I don't till I do, right? You there is that will to deliver. That is what's driving the overall conversation of the overall of we need to get things done. So that's the overall picture. That's the overall. But the daily, day to day, if you actually zoom in a little bit and look at the day to day, there is a lot of challenges, a lot of, how many days we wake up in the morning and we just say, screw this, I cannot do it.
Mhm.
I just can't. And you remember your goal and you remember that the promises we made and you remember it's people's money. It's not a joke. So we
Yeah.
just keep going, but it's not easy. Like, I mean, I just literally woke up. I was taking a nap. I slept 7 in the morning today. I woke up at 10, so 3 hours sleeping. I had things to do. Then I had to take care of something for my family.
Mm.
Then I had a business meeting. Then I just came. I slept an hour and a half. Now straight from bed, wash my face. 5 minutes later, I'm with you. And then, in about after this, I'm gonna have to spend some time with my daughter before I put her to sleep. Then again to work. So it's challenging. It's not the hours are challenging. The commitment is challenging. Different time zones with different teams, and there's a lot of It's not easy managing teams working online in different time zones, and they're managed. When you come to marketing, there's a lot of people who, like good luck talking to an influencer. They will reply every 2 weeks, and good luck talking to an investor who's angry because they did something they don't understand. It's wrong. You get a small example. You get someone who goes to an exchange. They're new to the to the to the space. Instead of decentralized exchange, they go to an exchange and they put a selling order, for example, or for market price for whoever has an order,
Mhm.
and then they come and they're like, "Oh shit, you're scamming us," or someone sending money to the contract which we don't have access to, right? And then
Yeah.
you have to deal with this, and it gets. But it's part of the job. We look at it at the time. We are humans. We get angry. We get frustrated. I mean, even now I'm frustrated, right? But then you look at the overall picture, and the good is way better than the bad, and we just keep going. We just, we have a goal. We want to get to where we want to get to, which is, um, you know, we genuinely we want to get to top 100 market cap. You know.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely takes a lot of sacrifice, the entrepreneurial life, and particularly in the tech space, like how you say that sometimes there are certain issues that are more on the user side, and the user is quick to point, potentially the platform or the project for something that went wrong that isn't necessarily your responsibility. And I agree with you that it can be hard because reputation is something that is so hard to build. And when somebody, maybe a lot of users can come in and put the blame and want to yell at you and your reputation is at stake, it's definitely challenging because oftentimes one has the best intentions for all users, and that's how ultimately many of us in this tech space want to move
So,
forward. So
100%. And look, I just want to, like, I always would like to mention first the community and the team. They always there to make it happen. You know, the team is always there. They're always working very hard, so they make it happen. The community, they're very beautiful. Our community. I've been in so many projects. I am an investor. I've seen many beautiful communities, and I am one part of some of them. Ours is actually a beautiful community. They stick to each other. They defend us. The majority of people are nice. You know, it just takes sometimes few people to come and make it a bad day. But in general, people are amazing.
Yeah. Well, it's the challenge that comes along with a tech business, and particularly in our space, since we're so close to people's investment and money. But let's talk about the project itself, the fundamentals of Empire. Maybe you can tell us about, more specifically about the business case and the use case of Empire.
Okay. So I will tell you where we're going. Where do we see ourselves like in the future, and how we're gonna make it happen. So Empire, we would love to be a top 100. Even at one point, we'd like to see ourselves a top 10 market cap.
Mhm.
And it's not ridiculous. It's not something. Maybe when we said that when we were at 1 million market cap, people laughed. We touched 170 million market cap or so recently. So it's not as ridiculous to do another, 100x from there. It's possible with time, with delivery of use cases, with the community's love, with some luck. But anyway, so we want to get to that point where we're uh, a payment solution as such, online and offline as well. So we want to be the token that you use to pay for goods and services, whether online or in real life.
Mhm.
And this is in a different way, not in a way that it's either fiat money or crypto money. We have our own model that we adapting from telecommunications companies, whereby you do like direct billing, direct career billing, where the businesses, they want fiat money. They're interested in fiat money. They're not into crypto and all of this and payment gateways and all of that. And we would
For
just
now.
sign. Yeah, but for now, that's why we're trying to. I'm a pro crypto, but till then we're trying to solve a solution, to solve a problem, to be in the middle, to go to them and say, you know what, we would pay you fiat money. We sign an agreement. You pay them like some sort of like a bond, up to this, that's for $1 million, for example, a month. We don't exceed this. Then the customer, the investor would pay for something using Empire tokens. The tokens, the money stays with us till we go settle the bill. So you settle the bill every 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever. So that's one of the major things we would like to achieve. To achieve that, we wanted to do the fundamental setup. The setup. The first one was the NFT marketplace, and the second thing was the decentralized exchange, the DEX, with portfolio tracking and charts. And people might ask, like, if that's your end goal, why would you start with an NFT marketplace, and why would you start with a DEX? Why don't you go straight to that? Well, because it's just not. That's one of the main things we want to achieve, but we also would like to pioneer and be part of the DeFi space, which I believe personally that DeFi is the future. You see regulatory issues in countries like China, and you see the adoption rate of DeFi is just increasing massively the last couple of weeks or few weeks in China, just because the crypto ban and everything, and they basically just cannot. It's too hard to ban DeFi. DeFi is growing. DeFi is going to be the next big, bigger than altcoins, and in my opinion, anyway, so it's going to be a huge market cap combined and all of that. So to take part of that and to raise the capital, increase the awareness, and be a fundamental part of it, we need to provide solutions that first exist, then we need to pioneer on it. And then we have, I'm not going to talk much about what we have, but we have something that brings it together, that put all these use cases we're talking about in one place. It's an app whereby you use the same app to make the payments as well. So it's like you have fiat money. You need to buy Bitcoin, for example, or BNB, whatever. You use one of our platforms, and then you need to do the exchange, the swap. You use our platform, and then when you do the payment, you need to exchange back. You use our platform, and you need to use you know the other big part of our and I do apologize for a little bit being off. I genuinely just woke up before because it was a weird day
It's
for
all
me.
right. It's a tough
But yeah,
life to be an
it's
entrepreneur.
just one of those days you just wake up, sleep, wake up, sleep. So I apologize for that. The main major use case for us is the NFT licensing. Um,
Okay.
it's giving the right of usage of for someone else while you own the NFT. So today everyone talks about buying and selling NFTs. No one bothered to talk about um, just giving someone the right to use it, whether one use, one off, or like multiple usage, or it could be multiple people using the same thing at the same time, or one, like for example, if the NFT represents a football pass, then there's different games. Then each game pass can only be used by one person.
Hmm.
So that's one use, one off use. But if it's like a JPEG picture, you're giving the usage of use for like corporations and people who do videos and they need the rights, then you can give to as many. So
Hmm.
that's something that's not been done. It's billions of dollars of business in the real world. The likes of Shutterstock and Getty Images and those. But that's the pictures and the video and the audio part. But no one is even talking about what the NFTs are here to actually challenge in the metaverse or in the real estate space or in the sport industry. And it's crazy what NFTs can achieve. But we're trying to be the pioneer in the space who puts things into perspective after someone owns an NFT. Even in gaming industry, you buy something that doesn't mean you have to actually just sell it. Um, you can't just give you right of usage for someone for a specific period of time. You say, look, you can use this power up in this game for a week for this much, but you own it. At that time, it disables. It actually shows in their portfolio, not yours, right? Same for real estate. I'm just trying to paint a beautiful picture here, so I'm not trying to just the last example I'm going to give is like real estate. Like if NFTs is to represent a real estate, a property, whatever it is, then you have to rent it. Renting it could be represented by licensing it as a NFT. You know, so there is a lot of work from logistics to technical to the some countries the adoption of it, whether they accept it as a a legal binding document or not. All of these challenges. So we're working. We started the conversation in multiple fronts. So yeah, so that's what we're trying to put things together. There's a platform that will has our NFT marketplace, our DEX, community management, portfolio tracking, a wallet,
Hmm.
launchpad, all together in one place. Yeah.
Yeah. But okay, so you mentioned the concept of NFT licensing. That sounds pretty interesting. Can you maybe touch upon that and give us a few more details on what that means and when you have in plan?
So that's what happens when I don't read the questions in advance. I answer the question before it. I did just touch bases on that. I don't wanna like bore you or the our lovely audience. So if I get a little too deep into it, just do tell me. That's enough. It's fine because I'm very passionate about it. So we just briefly talked about it. I'll just add a couple of more examples um, in like real life examples about NFTs. But before we do that, I think we need to define and make things clear in terms of what's an NFT. An NFT is just a representation of ownership of something. That's it. It comes with a lot of challenges. But what it represents, it's actually it's like an ownership document that I own this, right? And it's not authorized by anybody, any entity. Like today, the same NFT, either even though it's real, can be in different chains, and they all write legit NFTs, right? So there's a lot in the legality part of NFTs and all of that. We have nothing to do with it. We're trying to solve another solution of the NFT wars, that where you will have the ownership of an NFT. What do you do after? What is it that you achieve of holding it? Like there's people who try to do it like passive income staking and things like this. Yeah. Yes, this is DeFi, but it's not sustainable, right? So, and there's no like mechanism of like the way we're thinking. This is even beyond this, beyond the examples I was just talking about, the beyond the like renting a real estate property, or giving an image access to someone to use in a video, for example, and these things. So we're thinking even to change with time. Again, this is not something to be expected tomorrow, after tomorrow, in a year, to maybe with 5-10 years. When we achieve and deliver all of these things, we are in a pretty nice place where we can say, okay, what more can we do with NFTs licensing? One of the things that NFTs, and I don't think anyone talked about this in the space before, is that NFTs is actually, as a concept, beautiful concept to the smart contracts, because that's what smart contracts are in the blockchain. To start with, the fundamental beautiful value of smart contracts, it's actually it executes commands fairly and squarely, and it does all of what it does. And we all read the examples when you read about blockchain, that if you have workers, you need to distribute the wage based on their ability to work and these things. Then the smart contract executes that and all of these, and then if you have resources, it comes in and it manages the whole thing. So NFT to the blockchain and the smart contract is actually a resource that can be added to manage an ecosystem, whereby now these resources cannot be plugged into the ecosystem. But if you put this to what I was talking about before about licensing, and then you kind of start imagining it as investment banking, or as a way to distribute profits. So you kind of determine ownership of some parts of something based on an NFT, where you can buy and sell that part. But it also comes, when that happens, then you actually can distribute or manage the financial part of an ecosystem based on its entities. An NFT is an entity, right? So if you are to own a hotel, and let's give a real estate example. If you are to own a hotel, and the whole hotel is managed by NFTs, then the rooms are represented by NFTs, which is real estate to it. Then if you are to license the NFTs, you're actually licensing an NFT for a room. So instead of going and say, I'm renting the room, I'm licensing the room, whatever the term is. But then it's managed by a third party. But when I'm as an investor, I own this room, I want to get my money, I don't have to rely on them to come do the traditional way of finance and audit, and how much, and how much I'm paying for this. It's an automated smart contract. Okay, you have these rooms, your room got this much, I have these expenses, it's a smart contract, I paid for this, and that, and then you automatically get paid this much. I genuinely believe this is where we're going, and I think NFTs is the solution.
Great. Sounds good. It looks like you're making great strides in there. Let's put up some questions from the community. Here's kind of a long one, so let's take it side by side. I'll read them out loud to you. It looks like you're
because I'm on my phone. Yeah, please.
Yeah. What would be the strategies to attract new users? That's the first one.
Look, if you look at Binance today, and Binance is the leading, Binance is Binance. You look at the active users number is 33 million users or something. Last time I checked last week, 33 million users, which is okay, great number, but it's not It's nothing. 33 million active users is nothing. And then you have Binance US, whatever. Let's say 50 million. Still nothing. We are like what 9-8 billion. I'm not sure what's the total population now, but 50 million is still nothing. So when you say new user, are you talking about a user in DeFi? Are you talking about a user in the space in the crypto but not in DeFi? Are you talking a user who's never heard nothing about crypto? So we have different strategies. Just to answer this vaguely, we do have different strategies to attract all three types of users. Users who've never heard of crypto at all. Users who are in crypto but alt tokens and things like this, and they have an exchange account and they hold some altcoins and that's it. So we want to attract those. And we want to attract those in DeFi. And these are also different types. The ones in Ethereum network, we want to bring them to Binance, and those who are on Polygon, and we want to bring them to, to Binance Smart Chain and whatever, like cross chain and all of that we're working. So the question is vague, and I can spend 2 hours talking about it. But just to answer vaguely, we do have specific strategies to attract each part of it. Yeah.
Okay, how much would the initial investment be for these new users? They're asking if you have some kind of a budget there planned for attracting new users.
Look, I am a marketeer myself. I've spent the last 6 years managing my last job. I just quit it, as you guys know, managing the biggest digital marketing budget for the biggest company in the Middle East. And, working there, you can quantify these things. You can say an ROI, return of investment on $1. You can come and say, I'm going to invest $1,000 to get 300 customers who are going to get me $3,000 in return. Therefore, my investment. In DeFi, first of all, you have to do a lot of non-conventional marketing, which may or may not work. It may work for others, may not work for someone. There's always the hot topic today. Let's, for example, say an influencer. An influencer that worked a month ago may or may not be working today. You have to do them like kind of together, so there is no way of quantifying the effect of it separately. And then there's no way to track the overall performance where it's coming from because of the anonymity part of it, and you don't know what's what. And then from technology perspective, we're not implementing anything. We're not implementing like SDKs, pixels, things like this to track an action. So today, to come and say I'm going to spend this much to get this much, no one can tell you this one. No one. Like there's no one in the whole world can come and quantify these things for you. However, just to answer, because I don't want to keep it vague. Right now, our focus is on DeFi users who are already in the space.
Okay.
Our next phase, which is around end of December and January, we're working on a content strategy to capture as much as possible of people who's never even heard of a wallet before. So yeah.
Okay. All right. Thanks for that. Then we have a question from Dinesh here. Dinesh asked, he says, I am new to NFT marketplace. Can I create NFTs using your tools, or do you have any plans to introduce them in the near future? I guess he wants to know the current status of being able to create NFTs in the platform.
I want to stay politically correct. The problem with this space is the big influencers that influence the space to their own agendas and their own advantages. NFTs is not JPEGs. NFTs is not the ability to make 1,000 monkeys and sell them for this much. It's too easy to manipulate. Today I was just reading about let's say you create 1,000 NFTs, you buy them for $1 million yourself. So that means you actually get the $1 million back into your wallet, minus the gas fees. And then you have NFTs worth $1 million. So, there's still issues needs to be worked on, So we're steering away from that. I am not interested at all in that business, where today we have to kind of support it. And if you go to our NFT marketplace, you'll find a lot of images about different collections and whatnot. I'm not against it personally, but as a business, we're not actually the opposite. I am not against it as a business, but as a personal opinion, NFTs is here to change the world. And if we are to talk about changing the world, the last thing to talk about is JPEGs and monkey apes and whatever. I'm not attacking anyone, whatever they're called. So we're not going to give you a tool to go create a JPEG. There is just so many tools out there to do it, or you can hire someone from Fiverr for $200. But the influencers, the other ones, not the real ones, the ones now they're trying to make fame out of NFTs when they say they made millions of dollars out of $200 of investment, is bullshit. There's a lot of hard work. There's so much you're gonna do post just creating the NFT. Creating the NFT itself is not that hard. So no, we're not gonna be supporting you making any JPEGs on our platform.
Great. Okay, understood. Definitely a different take on NFTs than the current mainstream, but
Yeah.
definitely understandable. I mean, it's part of this industry that people have different visions, and nothing is written in stone as far as the direction that it should go. And
yeah, and you never know. You never know what's going to work in the future, what's not. These could be the future. Just we're not going to give the tools to create it. That's all. 100%. You never know. Like who would have thought that some NFTs, JPEG can sell for $56 million, and they did. So
yeah, and maybe the current trend of JPEGs and collectibles is just might just be a passing fad. Maybe not. Maybe people actually want this, and we'll see. It's part of what's in the DNA of this industry that the public will ultimately decide what sticks or not. But yeah, I understand it's valuable that people like you are bringing in and their own vision into it.
I don't want to take time. It's the only way that these might be valuable if you start talking metaverse. Then there's like a museum in the metaverse. Then you're actually going to take a virtual tool, and then you can look at something that was sold for 50 million, for example. Then it's worth a lot. But
they do have those in Decentraland, but whenever I walk those hallways, it doesn't seem to be very many people with me looking at these artworks. But that has been my experience. We have a question from Gate. Actually, we have, what do you think of the latest trends, and where do you think Empire fits in there? So I guess this is kind of we briefly touched upon it just now regarding the trend of JPEGs and collectibles, and Empire being something beyond that. But I don't know if you want to give any
I
more.
was just thinking, but just to look, we want to reinvent the wheel in some parts of the business, but in terms of we're just too small right now to come and just stand against the world. We're actually trying to help and work with everyone. It just we're fundamentally different projects to most of the trends, because trend could be a baby token, it could be a safe token, it could be ever token, whatever. We're not following the trends as such in there, but we are following the trends in the use cases and in the way, in the marketing and whatnot. So if we are talking about trend in marketing, we fit perfectly in there, and we're trying to actually have our own pie of the cake when it comes to providing some of the latest ourselves, to be the provider of some of the latest trends. But if you are to talk about the part we're just talking about, which is NFTs and JPEGs for that and whatnot, we'd rather focus on the licensing part and just be a provider rather than a
all right. And then I think it would be good to show you some of the love you're receiving from the community.
of my community.
Yeah, well, here's the CEO, and this one's even warmer. The best CEO Amin has ever seen. How about that?
Thank you. Thank you very much. Actually, we get all of these a lot, but we also get the hate ones. But the good ones are usually much better. So thank you very much.
Okay, going back to some questions. We have this one. Are there any big partnerships with Empire? Any big influencers associated with Empire? What can you tell us about that?
So we were considering three big partnerships just recently, and I told my community that I'll update them in the middle of December on the progress. One of them was very promising. I decided to reject it, but there is other two, so that's why I'm not giving an official update on that just yet. Um, I genuinely don't think we need any partnerships now. I don't need anyone. I only need time. It may it may look like a shortcut to do. It depends on the partnership. I'm referring to the partnerships with venture capitals and venture capitals and things like this. Um, it may look good for the short term. For the long term, it ain't good. So I always look at these. I want what's best for your best interest, for my team's best interest, for my personal best interest. Um, so we've been evaluating. So the one I rejected, I just don't think it wasn't right fit for us. Where if you actually look at the specifics of it, you're like, are you crazy? Why did you reject that? Because I am looking long term, not short term. So there are multiple on the table. I just because of NDAs, I am not, I cannot talk much about it.
Got it.
As for
Understand.
influencers, look, we spent a lot of marketing money recently, and it didn't really pay off as much. And the users it attracted is the ones who are being dumping on us now for a loss. So they came for the short gain. It didn't happen for them, and they're selling for a loss. So we're collecting some tax. We're getting more holders. All of that. The liquidity pool is growing, but it did not attract um, the right holders, the right investors. So we now reevaluating the whole marketing strategy. And as I said before, there's no way of measuring what's working, but we are in contact with big influencers. And I told my team in end of December we will have a big campaign for influencers. And moving forward, 90% of our marketing money is only to be with big names and just in-house, or like the likes of like Google ads, Facebook ads, YouTube ads, all of these. But you're not gonna see us doing much more of the space shitcoin marketing. So yes, the big influencers is the next thing.
Yeah, I mean, it happens a lot with new projects. I mean, I've been around the space since 2017, so especially during the big crashes of
As you read,
2018,
as
a
you've
lot
been
of
read,
projects found out the hard way that just doing you want to say like very flashy, scammy advertising attracted the wrong crowd. And although it might give you that nice dopamine hit because your price increase in the short term, I mean, it's those loyal
yeah,
token holders and people that follow the project and users that are the ultimate best ones to have. So I
100%.
definitely hear you on that. And then some more love for you, Dula, the boss,
Yeah,
the
sure.
real boss. People call you the boss a lot, huh? You're definitely a CEO, a very good presence out there.
I think I genuinely think they do that. I actually not a bossy person at all. I think it comes from A, from love, B, from being true to the word so far, at least. And
You're a leader.
I just call it the way it is. I don't take bullshit, brother, from anyone. When they come to the chat, some people to fun. I just, I just like to.
Politely ask them to mind their business.
No, not politely. I dismantle them publicly.
Yeah, that was just being a little
No,
sarcastic.
no, no.
Politely. um, Okay, maybe a few more questions before you go, because I know you're tired, need to get some sleep, need to
Well,
spend some time with your daughter.
my daughter just actually came, so I need to see her first. But I'm all yours. Whatever, a good question, I'm always good for a good question. Yeah, I'm always around.
Okay, all right, then we'll take a little bit more of your time.
Thanks.
Um, so it's been a hot topic lately. Everything in terms of security, we've heard some major DeFi platforms and even some major staking platforms, which I actually have some in there myself. getting attacked lately. So, on that topic, what steps have you taken to ensure to your investors of the security of your smart contracts?
Um, we we are CertiK audited. Svet- Apologies, it's just I had to tell my daughter to go away kindly.
Yeah. Or
Um, so
you can have her join us in the call if you like. It doesn't matter.
you can, but she's not doxed. I can dox her, so she can join us at the end of the call. Say hi for the first
Okay.
time. Anyway, um, we are CertiK audited, and we got the Skynet, which audits the overall ecosystem. And we did that for both our contract, the main one, and for our NFT contracts. The NFT contracts, we still didn't get the certificate yet. It's not, so that's a fundamental big step for us to take, and it was good money. It wasn't easy for us when we did it, to ensure the security of our contracts. But then, we got popular recently, and with popularity that comes a lot of bullshit, like attacks, DDoS attacks, and those, and people trying to attack you to take money out of you, and all of this. So we've been dealing with that a lot. We solved all majority of these issues, but at the end of the day, it's not a security concern. Like the worst case scenario, we get attacked. We put the marketplace on hold for like an hour. We fix it. We come back live. So it's not a big deal. However, our DEX is live now for the portfolio tracking and the charts beta. I put on hold the DEX part for swap and for staking, and staking and liquidity farming and all of it. And I'm glad you asked this question, because people come every day. When is staking? When is staking? When is DEX? It's ready. We're working on the security part. I cannot just publish it live, even if it takes 6 more months, before I know 100% for fact that it's audited. We tested so many aspects, and then we have the right tools and the right things in place. We're not getting attacked, and you're not losing your money. So security is not it's not an easy topic from anyone's side, and especially the people in the space, they should understand more than $500,000 was stolen from our honest investors because of scams. Them willingly sending money to a fake address to get 5x return. So
Hmm. That's a
this
common one.
space,
That's a classic one.
yeah, but $500,000 is a lot of money, and that harmed them and harmed the chart, our charts. We dumped a lot in a good, and that's why we've been consolidating. And I feel sorry for them, but we're sorry for ourselves. But what I'm saying is that security in this space is an issue, and we're trying to take the best out of the best. And CertiK is definitely the best auditing house there is today, and their Skynet solution is a good one.
Mhm. All right, Dula. Seems like you're getting a lot of love, particularly from Turkey here in the chat.
Turkey is the best, man. That's our majority of holders came from Turkey, and they stayed with us. That's one of the reasons we actually could stay floating for 5 months, and I appreciate it a lot, because it's a lot of money for them. Even a few $100 is a lot of money to hold for 5 months, but they've been rewarded with
Yeah.
yeah.
And we have a big Turkish community as well, so I definitely think there are good
Actually,
synergies. We have like our own Telegram in Turkish and things like
thinking
that. That
thinking about it, actually, my team did ask me if they can do a gate. Uh, what do you call it? A Turkish EMA. I never asked. Well, we take it
yes.
offline. If we can do
So,
that, let's do it.
yeah. So I don't know if you're familiar. We have an AMA format on Telegram. That's like a written format. So obviously, right now we're doing
Uh,
the live stream,
yes,
but we also
yes,
have the written format, and that's possible to do it in our Telegram channels. And we have many other
yes,
Telegram
yes.
communities as
Would
well.
love to do one
So
in the Turkish group. We'll take it offline. If we can make that
yeah,
happen, that'll be nice.
yeah, sounds good. All right, Abdullah. I
There's no
think
hate. There's no hate. You showed me the love. There's no hate.
no what?
No hate. There's no hate comment.
No, not yet.
Last time I checked,
uh,
unless changed. If you go to our YouTube channel, we have multiple videos. A lot of thumbs up. There is only one video and one thumbs down. So,
all right. Well,
but
it
we
seems
do
like
get.
well, definitely invite everyone to check out Empire social media. Maybe one we can again we'll talk about it offline, but host some on our Telegram channel so we can spread more of that awareness. But for today, we're gonna have to wrap it up. So Dula, the boss, thank you very much for being with us today. And hopefully we'll remain in touch, and our community will be looking forward to hearing more updates and seeing your project's progress.
Thank you very much, man. It was a pleasure being here. I personally enjoyed it. I liked the way you're handling the questions. You're a man of good talents in this space, and definitely an addition to the space. Um, Thank you very much for having us. It's been a pleasure. Um, Great questions and great, you know,
Dynamic.
dynamic. That's the one, yeah. And if there is a way to have something in the future, we'll discuss. Maybe together we can, between Gate and ourselves, we can. Our community is in love with Gate, and that was a huge is a huge listing for us. So you never know, what can happen in the future. So we'll be in touch. That's what I'm saying. We'll be in touch. We'll see what more business opportunities to happen. For now, I thank you very much, and I thank everyone for being part of listening and
All right.
taking the time. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dula. Have a great day, and thank you everybody for joining us today.
Bye bye.